Hello my sexy compatriots, this is the cup of coffee you all know and love, Minty Coffee, and I am here with something a little bit different than my usual commentaries. Today, I'll be looking at Valve's class categorization based on the three main roles of the classes, offense, defense and support. Let's be frank, things have changed since 2007. Heavy can move when spun up, Pyro has air blast, Medic has health regen, and Spy is still an annoying French Anyways, I'll be reworking the formula to be more in tune with the current setting of TF2, taking the coming balance changes into account. To give a reliable analysis of each class fairly, I'll be looking primarily at the Highlander meta of 9v9. For the purpose of this demonstration, I will break up the three main categories into Core, Pick and Sustain. Core classes make up the combo of the team, the glue that holds the proverbial crew of 9 morons together, the general DPS of the team. Pick classes speak for themselves, they're scrawny and vulnerable in close quarters, but specialise in killing high value targets. Sustain classes are the supportive classes that specialise in elongating the survival of the combo through defense, buffing and information on enemy positions. To put each class into this categorization, I will delve into their individual strengths and weaknesses into 4 key areas: damage, survival, mobility and support, as shown in this radar graph. Let's go into each class and look at where they shine and where they shite. Scout is a glass cannon character designed to deal high damage in close quarters combat combined with the fastest speed of any class, as well as his trademark being double jumping. The Scout is an expert at close quarters picks and flanking high value targets. His double jump also gives him some insane survival in fights against explosive classes, made even more annoying by the likes of the Atomizer. As a trade-off, Scout's mobility is rather average. While he is the fastest class in the game in terms of walking speed, his mobility is easily replicated by the Medic's Medigun, as well as both Soldier and Demo Man can easily outspeed a Scout by explosive jumping. Scout also lacks much support, only having the occasional niche ability of the Mad Milk, which comes into play less than you'd think, considering your combo is already going to have consistent healing from the Medic. So Scout ranges in very good in damage and survival, meh in mobility, and bad in support. Soldier is the most speedy of the damage classes. He has a very high damage output, especially when roaming, and this also gives him by far the best consistent mobility of any class, rivaled only by Demo Man. As a trade-off though, Soldier's survival is quite lackluster since, unlike Scout, he cannot reliably get out of a fight once he has engaged, because bombing can often be a gamble maneuver. Once their primary target has been neutralized, the Soldier may not have the rockets needed to rocket jump away. Soldier also has little when it comes to support, though if a Soldier prefers to dedicate to the combo, his banners offer occasional support. As such, Soldier does have very good damage potential and is a beast in mobility, but he has below average survival and minuscule support potential. Pyro's a mixed bag in competitive. While definitely far less powerful than in casual, he still offers some mixed capability. While his damage is good, it's only useful in CQC situations and is outmatched by the likes of Scouts and Soldiers when flanking. Also, he doesn't have the mobility of either of these classes, only having the movement speed of a base class. However, Pyro's survival is quite moderate due to his air blast giving him good staying power, and this also allows Pyro to support the combo by denying pushes, reflecting projectiles and putting out allies. Thanks to this, Pyro is a good mix of all 4. He has moderate survival and damage, average mobility and good support. He's not amazing at any, but not poor in any either. Demo's as expected as you can get, really. He has monstrous damage potential and amazing mobility, but his survival, especially in close quarters, is nigh terrible, and he has literally nothing in terms of supporting his allies, so his makeup looks pretty simple. To be honest, that doesn't mean he sucks though, far from it. The Demo is easily the front of damage of the combo. Now Heavy is an interesting case. Even though he has the best DPS of all the classes, it only becomes significant in mid to close range. What really shines though is Heavy's survival, having a massive 450 health at full overheal, and sans being picked off by insta-kill moves, he is the best class at surviving enemy engagements, even more so with the lovely Sandwich. Speaking of, the Sandwich also allows Heavy to support his team, on top of his tanking being able to support the combo. Of course, Heavy being a Weight Watchers mascot means his mobility is awful, so while the Heavy shines in survival, he is pretty bad in mobility and his support is average at best. Engineer is about as all around as you can get really. He's sort of good in everything, great in support, minus mobility, which is his only weak suit. Yes, he does have Wrangler jumps, but those are very niche and don't often come into play. Now, as far as damage goes, while the NG can boast a good shotgun aim, the Sentry is more used for denying areas rather than getting any kills. It's not really often that a Sentry gets a lot of kills as opposed to just being destroyed by stickies. Now, Engineer's survival is quite good because he will typically be around the Sentry and by extension, the combo. As for his support, NG is the class that boasts the best support abilities of any class because his buildings reflect all three roles. The Sentry reflects defense, teleporters reflect offense, and dispensers reflect support. As such, NG is quite a good all-rounder, though his lack of mobility means he can be pretty weak in CQC situations. Medic, quite obviously, is going to suck in damage, but being a healer, this isn't a problem. He has okay mobility since his Medigun can lock his speed to that of a scout, and he is the second fastest class in the game. He has pretty bad survival though, and the Medic staying alive pretty much depends on the combo protecting him, and his health cap means he can be easily picked off by a quickscope. His support, however, is of course what's the most impressive, being able to heal both massively at close range and in bursts at nigh infinite range with the crossbow. Meaning Medic is one of the best support classes just underneath the Engineer's supportive capabilities and is the meat that holds the combo together. Sniper is pretty infamous in Highlander as he's the one class that basically makes this mode despised by 6's elitists who think 9v9 is nothing but wait for enemy sniper to die, then move up without a risk. To be honest, I can't say it's entirely unwarranted. Anyway, Sniper's role shines in damage of course, while boasting pretty average survival due to typically staying away from the fight, but having poor mobility and little team support sans sometimes using the Jurati, but being far away means that he's not really going to get that niche to begin with. Sniper's role as a high damage pick class though means he is a direct counter to classes with high survivability like Heavy. Now Spy is a bit of an unsure case. While he does have an insta-kill ability, it rarely comes into play due to how weak he is versus an aware team compared to Sniper. Sure, the Dead Ringer can make you really annoying to kill, but considering the coming nerf, that's going to be going into the potatoes. As such, his cloak and ability to give info on enemy callouts, uber advantage and health means that Spy is a great support class, and his cloak does give him good survivability, particularly since info spies like to run the cloak and dagger. While he has no mobility techniques, his speed matching that of a medic means he can at least outspeed slow classes and keep up with the medic, who is often going to be his primary target. Now that we've looked at each class's individual makeup, let's put them into the core sustained pick categorizations. As we can see, the classes fit into the typical roles you'd really expect. Demo, as always, is the front of the core combo, while Soldier is a mix between core and pick, since bombing gives him the ability to pick medics. Though a Soldier who helps his combo is also a dangerous asset. Scout and Sniper are dedicated pick classes who can take out high value targets, though Scout of course takes a very different approach and is more able to harass flank routes. Spy is a pick-sustained mix, since he has the ability to reliably relay information to the team with little risk due to cloak, and he can get a good pick when the right moment calls for it. NG and Medic are the key sustain classes who focus on keeping allies buffed up in health and ammo, as far as NG goes, giving allies a quick way to get to the fight as well as shutting down an area with a sentry gun. Heavy and Pyro sit firmly in a mix of core sustain due to their ability to cover the combo by both tanking and reflecting projectiles, and since their high DPS only comes into play in close range, so their supportive attributes often take much more prominence. Knowing where the classes fall into a much more understandable and fitting categorization allows one to better understand how the class plays and where their strong suit lies. With Valve's categorization, they paint classes like Pyro as strictly offensive and Sniper as supportive when they are not. What you can take from this is to consider where your class's strong suits lay when playing competitive, and consider what your best role is, not for yourself, but for the team. If you're a Pyro, is it worth more going for a risky near impossible medic pick or helping your NG kill a nearby spy? If you're a medic, is it worth trying to pick an enemy with your crossbow or stay backpedaling behind your combo? Keep thoughts like that in your mind at all times and be sure to choose the best decision in the moment to enhance your game sense when playing alongside your teammates. This has been your favourite cup of coffee, and as always, I shall see you next time, my sexy compatriots. Bye!
I am the man who arranges the blocks that continue to fall from up above. The food on your plate now belongs to the state, a collective regime of peace and love.